17-8, you good? Man, I'm hoping you're good. I'm praying for you. Do me a favor, subscribe to us, 17-8 Ministries on YouTube, and send this to somebody else. Send this to 2 or 3 people and tell them to lock in with 17-8 as we do our best to try to help you as you walk with God. 17-8, welcome back to another Discussions for Development. Welcome back, Shaw. Welcome back. He is, of course, a day one, and he is one of our creatives, and so we're glad to have him back. We're missing DJ, but we're here for a specific discussion. We're here to talk a little bit about our theme for the year, actually, boasting. From 2 Corinthians 12, verses 9, says, each time he said, my grace is all you need. My power works best in weakness. Clifton, we were talking about this. This is how we decided to get into this discussion, that we have seen the power of the Most High work through us best in our weakness. When I'm weak, God is strong. And I know we just had Zacoby on the channel yesterday. And both of you guys have something in common as far as you all have both lost your father, and that's something that I know me and you and our talking is something that you have to deal with for the rest of your life, and it's something that has made you weak. So how have you seen God work within you? Over these past couple of years through your growth and your development? How has his power been strong and mighty in your life, inside of you, even though you're going through something that is lifelong, and it's something that we've already talked about that has made you feel very, very weak
Sometimes we fail to realize that energy never dies. You know, just having my pops around and him giving that energy of sets forth of me growing and becoming a man through God, seeking God, understanding God. And, you know, having dad around at the time being, he really showed me the will and the way to, you know, just get things done, handle business, take care of your folks, and just, you know, live life to its fullest, man. That energy never died in me. Of course, my dad is not here physically, but he's always with me spiritually, man. And like I said, man, energy never dies, man. It affects others around you. So just having a good, positive spirit, you know, as far as doing good things in the world and God-like things, man. You know, that's how I'm feeling about it, man. But yeah, there were ups and downs. There were times where I was just like, man, I miss him. You know, the game, the knowledge he used to put me on. But, you know, we just got to keep on pushing. And, you know, he may not be here, but energy never dies, man. You know, my dad is not dead. He lives through me. I am a creation of him through God, so we just gonna keep on rolling.
Just highlighting the fact that his dad left with him so many different deposits that positively impacted his life, and so he's using that to go out and spread. We love, that's what the Bible says, we love because Christ loved us first. And so without the example that Christ has given us, how can we be godly? How can we be disciples? How can we get closer to him? How can we show other people the way if Christ didn't show us the way? And so that's a strength that you're using, the example that he's deposited into your life, and you're spreading those little nuggets throughout the community, throughout the things that you're doing with the youth mentorship, and what we're doing in this virtual Christian community, and what you're doing on campus at Alabama A&M, using that to shine the light that Jesus has given us. That's a great aspect of it. Okay, God says that my power works best in your weakness, and so maybe you're watching this and you feel like you're at your weakest point in your life. Some people may be questioning their identity. They may be questioning their future. Losses, continuous losses may be happening in their life, and you may feel like, how can God work through me? It really starts, and we neglect the fact that God uses weakness to start to birth things inside of us. He lets us lose. He lets us not get somewhere. He lets us not get that accomplishment, and we start to feel feel this burning passion inside, that fire to be creative, that fire to do something different. And God usually births something inside of us by killing a dream. You have to learn how to tap into what God may be giving you in your spirit.
Affirmative, man.
And you have to affirm that. I understand that we're humans, so we do overthink. Negative. We're humans, so we do second guess. Okay? But I like the word he just said, affirmation, affirmative. Okay? If you have a thought inside of you and you know that God is using the feeling of defeat to birth something and to start something in your mind, okay, don't second guess it. The Bible says have faith and believe that God can do the new thing. God says, I'm doing a new thing. Can you see it? God can work best in your weakness. And so he says, so now I am glad to boast about my weakness. So I don't mind telling you that I'm down. And because it's something we talk about all the time is people like to put on a front on social media and to other people like they're so strong and they so mighty. But in reality, they're weak.
Yeah.
They're struggling. Yeah. They're down. They need your help.
This all starts with having self-realization and having that self-awareness, knowing for self. You know, you can't create things and you can't build things and you can't picture success without knowing self.
Yeah.
Having big structures and having big corporations and having Christian virtuality, it won't be big unless you know for self. So, you know, those times you're down and you may be thinking negative, man, you just have to start with self and talk to God, and God is within you. So there might be something that may be telling you, you got to switch it up. Don't be afraid to change, and don't be afraid to be yourself, but change for the good, change for the better of yourself so you can being good at something or having success. We all get lost in the fact sin. Yeah. Sin. Idolatry.
Like you said, if you don't know who you are, how can you be strong in your faith if you don't know who you are? Okay? Because if I'm weak and I'm not confident in myself, then I have to put on a facade. I have to put on a front because I'm insecure within myself.
Yeah.
You already said it. You already said that God is inside of you.
God is inside of you, and he made each and every one of us different and unique. That's what makes you. Tap in, man, to that higher self. Lower conscious is steadily boiling. You let it get all the way up to here, man. You lost yourself, man, but love yourself, dog. That's another thing. Yeah. Gotta love yourself, man. Go work out, go read a book, and go spend time by yourself and just think.
In nature.
Go outside, man. When the last time you went out for a walk?
That's very healthy.
Yeah, man. We in toxic environments most of every day of our lives. Yeah. Whether we around toxic people, you know, toxic environments, the air. Yeah. We in buildings. We in front of a computer all day. Man, you gotta love yourself. You gotta let yourself breathe, man. That's a part of healing too. Yeah, something we talked about last year.
It is, yeah.
Gotta heal yourself, man. And this stuff never stops that we talk about.
Yeah. If you work on yourself, then God can work through you. And that's what the verse says. It says each time, he says, my grace is sufficient. My power works best in your weakness. So I will boast about my weakness so that the power of Christ can work through me. He says, I can boast about my weakness because when I'm weak, that's when God is really working through me.
It's a process. Having those ups and downs, you got to go through the process, man. You know, love those bad times just as you love those good times, because those bad times really made you who you are. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it not only makes you who you are, man, it gives you life lessons, dog. If you really pay attention to the details of how things work, you know what I'm saying? But how does this keep going over and over again? How does this keep happening to me? Why am I always feeling down? Why am I always depressed? I want to get in the gym, but I'm going to do it next week. No, the time is now, man. The time is now to get on your thing, to get on your grind. Yeah. So, man, look, have a self-realization, and it's okay to boast about our weaknesses, bro, because that's what God really wants us to do.
I like that you just said that, because, see, You think about it. Man, listen, you think about it, man.
Yes, sir.
Back in Exodus, back in the old times, God had to use and take thousands of people through thousands of years of silence and go back to captivity because they didn't have a good reality of self. They didn't listen. They didn't obey. They didn't serve God. They did what God told them not to do. And so God said, since y'all want to be y'all's own person, you know, since y'all want to have false realities of who y'all are and who I've called y'all to be, since y'all don't want to truly tap in and walk the walk, then I'm going to send y'all back and let y'all live y'all's own lives and do y'all's own thing. So the question is really, and I like that you said sometimes we procrastinate and sometimes we let ourselves be our biggest crutch. Just take the risk. Sometimes we overthink it so much. We're always thinking about the next move. We're always thinking about, oh, well, what is this? How does this benefit me? How does this help me? How is this going to grow me? It's not about you.
It's not about you, man. It's imperative for us to know that the world doesn't spin around us, you know what I'm saying? So you may have to give up certain sacrifices and certain deeds just to get to the bigger picture that may serve yourself a higher purpose in life.
Man, this has been a great video, and we just only talked about one verse.
Yeah, man.
And join us for the next one. So this was Boast Talk number 1. Boast Talk number 2. Dive deeper into verse 10. Okay, go read 2 Corinthians 12, verse 10. We talked about the weakness, but Paul in verse 10 says, I take pleasure, and he gives specifics. He says, I take pleasure in my weakness, in the insults, in the hardships, in the pain, in the persecutions, in the so don't miss the next one. Don't miss the next one, okay? This one was already crazy. Do we need to get DJ in for the next one?
Everybody, you know, just pass it around. Like
Don't miss the next one.
Okay. We're done. I want to congratulate Chance and 17-8 to 100 plus subscribers, man. Y'all tap in, man. This man is doing something that nobody's really doing, and we have to give him, you know, attention and give not only him attention, but the program is for a better cause. It's to get the youth involved with God within themselves for youth development, to be better women, to be better men as we go into a time of need and a time of war with this religion and this time of social media. We feeling all type of way. We up and down, high and low. We got anxiety, depression. We got all that stuff, man. So this is the bread and butter right here. 17-8. Please tap in, like, comment, share, subscribe, do what you got to do, man. Let's get this thing popping, man, because this is for a better cause for the community and for the others that are watching all over the globe. 17-8, tap in. Until then,
shout out, we appreciate you, man, and we'll see you guys next time on Boast Talk.
Yes, sir.
Listen, I told you that video was going to empower, inspire, and encourage you. Listen, we're praying for you daily here at 17-8 Ministries as we do our best to try to help you as you walk with God. Do me a favor, not only subscribe, like, and share this video, but follow us on our social medias at 17.8 Global on Instagram and 17-8 Ministries on Facebook. Listen, I love you. We're praying for you.